Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here. I hope you had a great time yesterday and last night. It's a Friday morning, and we'll get started. Our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin Road and Highway 77. And we have a special guest this morning, and we'll be talking a little bit about Haney Technical School. But first, let's talk about how warm it's going to get today. It's going to be 85. I was looking at the last 3 days, the high has been 85. So it's been that pattern that's kept the temperature very, very steady, low 75. It's just a repeat from the last couple of days. Hopefully, that rain's going to get on out of here, and it's going to clear up, and we're going to have a nice weekend, hopefully. So we'll see. The water temperature, like I say, it's been at 85 also. The water temperature has been that way now for about 7 straight days at 85 degrees. And I always talk about that. That's an important point to know that water temperature. I'll take a look at our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Cemetery and Funeral Home. Their motto is where caring counts. Okay, taking a look, we have a low tide. Start off with a high tide this morning at 7:45. Looking on the screen on today's Friday, and today is the low tide is going to be later on this afternoon at 6:52. Okay. Now, marine forecast, instead of coming out southeast like it has for the last couple of days, it's going to be swinging on around to the east, about 7 miles per hour. So it could be a good day. Get that rain on out of here. All right. Let's take our first break, and we'll be back with our special guest. All right, welcome back, and welcome to Mike Heppenstall.
Good morning.
Director, you should call him principal of Haney Technical, but technical word is director of Haney Technical Center. More important, though, just a good friend, and more important than that, he's a good Christian man and a good outdoorsman. I just love having him on the show, and we fish together as often as we can, which is not enough.
Not enough. Never enough.
Mike is really good about taking people fishing and all, and he knows a lot about fishing. What I like about Mike, I was asking Gail last night, I said, now, will Mike be upset if I call him just a regular Joe when it comes to fishing, because he's one of us. You know, we work Monday through Friday, but he knows a lot about fishing and loves it. So we're glad to have you on.
Glad to be here.
All right, let's look at some pictures right here now. This is not last year or anything. This is the last couple of days. Tell us about these pictures here.
Well, this was last Saturday. I carried a father and his son out, and we were about 8 miles offshore. And this is the biggest red grouper I've ever caught.
That's a nice one, Mark.
And it was caught him on cut bait.
All right. How deep was he?
About 80 feet of water.
Okay. All right. Let's go to this next picture here. Tell us about this one.
Well, this was yesterday. I carried another father and son out, and we actually had room, and he said, hey, if you want to bring your son, bring your son. So I brought my middle son, Andrew, and this is his first cobia that he caught it off the bottom, and it put up a good fight, and had some of it about 9 o'clock last night.
What time?
9 o'clock last night. I discovered after fishing all day, and I got home and I was sitting there and I thought, I haven't had dinner. So I went and got some cobia fillets and cooked them up, and they were great.
Oh, man, it was fresh.
It was fresh.
And it's just nothing like fresh fish. Did you have a special recipe or anything? Or?
Yeah, it's a real simple recipe. Just soak the fillets in butter and then put Italian breadcrumbs, some Parmesan cheese, and bake them in the oven for about 20 minutes at 375. Can't beat it.
Oh, man. And they're doing it at 9 o'clock at night. That's good. I'm glad to see we have normal people who do these normal things like this. All right, this next picture. Check this one out.
This was about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Just red snapper that caught. This was before the season opened, actually. This was the Saturday or the weekend before the season opened. Uh-huh. But all these fish that you see that I've caught are within 8 miles. They're not in federal waters at all. And as a matter of fact, this picture was in 3 miles of shore.
That's amazing. And you know what, Scott, I knew it was a couple of weeks ago because I haven't seen the Gulf that calm recently.
No, Gulf hasn't been that calm in a while.
Yeah. Okay. All right, that's good. Now, we're talking about, and what Mike does, and I just love going fishing with him, he fishes these spots that, like he just said, they're close to shore.
Close to shore, and most of my spots are public spots.
Yeah.
I do a lot of running. While I'm running to a public spot, I'll have my bottom machine on, and I'll see structure. And where I caught the red grouper, happened to be running across to go to the spot, and saw something about the size of a car on the bottom. Stopped, fished it, caught that red grouper.
That was probably one of Richard Holly's old cars back when he put those cars out. But anyway, and that's a great advice too. Just have that machine on and just cruise slowly and just take your time. And I know you find a lot of good spots because
you really do.
Yeah, that structure is out there and all. I know you do such a good job in preparing. A couple of days before, even the night before. Tell us, folks, how you prepare.
Well, I have a map that I have all my coordinates laid out on, and then I look at the weather, decide which way the wind's going to be blowing, and look at the tides, and then I decide which spots I feel that would produce the best fish, and then I develop a float plan. And on that float plan, I'll have all the coordinates where we'll be going that next day, and I email that the float plan to the family that I'm taking, so that if something were to happen, they have information where we're fishing. Yeah. And I leave one in my car so that if they need to break my windshield or break my side glass to find my coordinates, they can do that.
That is so critical. I mean, and when I go with them, I get the night before or day before, I will get that float plan. I'm just so impressed with how it does, and we all should do that. I honestly, I don't have a big boat to go out, so I don't really have to do it. But even on going out in the bay, Gail and I have an understanding. If I'm not home by 5 o'clock, she'll get word because I'm usually home before then. But the float plan you do is so thorough and it's so impressive, and they have 2 or 3 copies of it.
And I always put on there, if they don't hear from us by such and such time, go ahead and call the Coast Guard because something's wrong.
And they'll know because you're so well prepared and do such a good job with it. So you got your float plan, but then you got your spots picked out. But you always have a plan B.
I always have a plan B.
Yeah, because we know as outdoorsmen, plan A don't always work. So your plan B is always there too.
Right.
And you catch so many of your fish within 3 or 4 miles of shore.
There's a lot of structure, and plus with the cost of gas, it's hard to run 20 miles offshore. Yeah. And so I've learned to fish closer to shore, and I've learned that you can catch as many, if not more, fish inshore or close to shore as you can going 20 miles offshore.
Yeah.
So.
And he used the key word. He learned and to do that, and that was just trial and error.
Trial and error.
Just getting out there and doing it. I know. Do you try to concentrate just on one particular species, or you just go to your spot and try to catch what's on the spot?
I try to concentrate on the species that we're able to keep.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, because when I carry people out, I want them to be able to have not only the memories, but I want them to have something to carry home that they can enjoy later. Yeah. So, and one of the things I do is when I come across a spot and I've got a guest in my boat, and it's not a spot that I normally fish, say it's some structure that I found by accident, whether that structure's there legally or illegally. Yeah. I will name, if we catch fish off that spot, I'll name that spot after one of the individuals in the boat. So next time we go out, they'll say, hey, can we go to Jack's spot or whatever. So
that's funny. When you say that, bring back memories. I know if you guys ever hunted with a party of people and all, we used to dog hunt way back in the day, and we had the same thing. If somebody took a big buck so-and-so, that would become a chip stand or the Wayne stand or whatever, and we always knew exactly where to go.
Exactly.
And that's neat to do that. Okay, he brought all kind of little paraphernalia with him, and some that he's made and all. It's very interesting to see the things he's done to make him a better outdoorsman. So let's take this break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. So here with Mike, and I'm talking about some of our experiences, and I guess we'll say necessity is the mother of invention. We got this ladder here, but before we get to the ladder, let's tell people what made you made this ladder. Tell us the story, because all I got to say is amen. I did the same thing, so go ahead.
Well, we're probably not the only one. We have a dive ladder, or we had a dive ladder, and we got in the boat and forgot the dive ladder was down and took off, and the dive ladder broke. So I did that, had it re-welded. Next trip out, forgot the dive ladder was down, drove off and broke it. This time it was unrepairable. And so I thought.
So you made you a PVC one.
I've made one out of PVC. And
this is cool.
Instead of spending $100 or more for a dive ladder, I made this for less than $20.
And it's got the little. Tell us how this is always a critical part right here. Where it
Yeah, that's just
slot.
a critical part. I just drilled the hose and put a bolt on the inside, and then tighten it together with the bolt on the outside, and it just slips right into the original bracket.
Yeah.
And it works great.
Now, where'd you get the rubber of the step part?
That came off the old dive ladder.
The old dive ladder. That's smart.
Since I was throwing it away, might as well salvage what parts and pieces I could. And
we have a lot in common. I don't want to throw stuff away, but that's really, and it's strong. Strong.
It is strong. And what I did is I filled the tubing up with that spray styrofoam to give it strength.
Good idea.
So it's just something that, like I said, just trying to save money for my stupidity.
This is why you're the director of the technical center over there and all. And okay, good job there. Now, by the way, what's going on in Haney real quick before we get back to some more stuff you got?
Well, we are July the 8th, Monday. We're going to start registration. And for the fall semester, we'll be registering July the 8th through August the 8th. And need to make sure that you come in, make sure you have all your financial assistance paperwork filled out.
Okay.
And we have the Haney scholarships, we have Pell Grant, we have VA, a lot of different opportunities that you can come to school and have financial assistance. But that starts Monday morning at 8 o'clock.
Okay. All right. And don't get up there now and ask to find Mike and start talking about fishing. Go ahead and take care of your paperwork first, because he's going to be busy and you need to take care of paperwork. But later on, after you get to go in there and all, you can hit him up in the hallway talking about it.
Absolutely.
I know a lot of folks at Haney. They're good folks, hard-working folks, and proud to have them on as one of our sponsors, Panhandle Outdoors. All right, what's this next object you got?
Well, again, I like to save money. I was looking for all of our saltwater fishermen use the sabiki rig. And a sabiki rig, if you put it in your rod holders and you walk by, those hooks are going to come out and grab you.
Yes.
And so this is just an electrical conduit with the flared end. I cut off an inch.
The other end.
I cut an inch off the end of it, and then I took that and divided it.
See how it flares right here? Then you got the triangle weight to hold it there.
Yeah, I've got a triangle weight, and then I used a different color end that I cut off so you could see. But I put my reel here and used the piece that I cut off, cut it in half, and that's my flanges to hold my reel in. I drilled a hole in the PVC pipe. Now I've got a sabiki rod that costs $2.98 instead of $60 to $80.
Yeah.
And I keep this on my boat all the time. And
it's all set.
It's all set, ready to go, and your sabiki rig's inside of it right now.
And it's not going to hook anybody.
It's not going to hook anybody.
That's cool. That is cool. All right, what else you got?
Well,
don't y'all love these little inventions?
This is, again, another way to save money. My dad, he loved to fish, and he got to where he was not stable on his feet, but he did not like people helping him. Yeah. And so this is, I've put on my gunnel, I have rocket holders or rocket launchers.
Okay, this sets in.
And that sets inside the rocket launcher, and it's a way for him to hold on to it, to step on into the boat.
Just hold right here.
Or on the side in front of him. And it's a way to be able to step in the boat and be stable coming in and out from the dock to the boat or boat to the dock.
And your dad got to fish until what age?
79.
Wow, he's still fishing, and I know you had a lot to do with it. You went up there in Alabama, fished with him, and brought him down here, and all these little extra things gave him probably a couple more years of fishing that he probably wouldn't have had. So.
And we always took my brother, my dad, and we took a yearly trip, and I encourage you to do that with your family.
Yeah.
We took pictures and put videos together of the trip, and so I've got a lot of memories with my dad that I can go back and watch and laugh at some of our trips.
Oh yeah. That's great, Mike. Good job there. Okay, so that's all we got right now. We got plenty more stuff. That's all we're gonna have time for. So you have to come back on the show maybe next month or
Love
something.
to.
and always have the good stuff. And again, you fish all public spots, and nothing fancy about it. Just
nothing fancy, and just be well planned and prepared.
Yeah, be well planned and prepared. Good advice there. Now let's go ahead and get on. Let's look at our fishing times. First of all, let's go ahead and do this segment here. Brought to us by Mark Cowart of Edgewater Beach Realty. It's at 832-6000. Give Mark a call. Even if he's out on the water fishing, he'll be able to get back with you. And he works hard at real estate. And again, proud to have him as members of the Panhandle Outdoors fishing team. As you were talking about the Panhandle Outdoors team and all, we consider ourselves the team and you part of the team, our viewers and all. And I know you run into people who watch the show a lot and enjoy the show.
I do, and I tell you, I wear my hat proud, and I've got the decals like this on my car, on my boat, and I wear it with pride because I'm really proud of what this show stands for and how it helps the average fisherman or the average hunter, and I really appreciate you, Winston. What you do.
Well, thank you. Now, we didn't pay him to say all that. Now, he just we hadn't planned that. That wasn't on the script. But thank you, Mike. I appreciate it.
I thought you told me I was going to get the prize.
I'm going to let you draw names out of here.
Okay.
This is Tarpon Dog Seafood. Well, we got some new viewers now. This is what we say every Friday. We draw for a $20 gift certificate and then second for a red snapper. So the winner of the $20 gift certificate is going to be Angie Williams. Angie Williams. So, all right. Good job, Angie. All right, now let's get the big red snapper. And I know a lot of y'all full from those ribs yesterday, so maybe we can have some fish for the weekend. But don't wait till 9 o'clock and eat them.
That's 9 o'clock at night, too.
All right, the winner of that is Leslie Schaefer. Leslie Schaefer, and we'll put that right there, red snapper. Red snapper, got it written down. All right, that's very good. That takes care of our Tarpon Dog Seafood drawing. Now we're going to come up. Now we're going to take our break in a minute, and we'll come back with a famous Friday fishing forecast. But Mike, again, we appreciate you coming on the show.
I appreciate it,
and appreciate all the work you do, and appreciate you taking people fishing.
It's my privilege to do that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back with our famous Friday fishing forecast. All right, folks, welcome back and welcome to Tarpon Dog Seafood famous Friday fishing forecast. And we're going to get started. Mike brought his chart. I'm just going to hold it up, manually hold it up. It's not going to be, this is old school right here without the laptop and everything. So here, I just want to show you some basic spots that Mike uses. And here's our pass right here coming out of the pass and coming on. These are all public spots right here. We have, right here we have the bridge span, have the Elvira, hovercraft. All these are public spots. The Chickasaw here, we fished it before. Some good names here. Coming out of the pass, if you want to go west, you have the rock pile up here. There's several rock piles. The grouper reef, the aircraft. But again, I just want to show you this to encourage you to learn these public spots right here, okay? And that's just on the chart right there. So if you get a chance, it's a great opportunity to go and do that. All right, now let's get back to what's going on this weekend. And the biggest thing, I think we need to go ahead and jump on scalloping right here because so many of y'all are scalloping. I get so many questions, where to go scalloping, where to go. Well, let's look at St. Joe Bay, and I'm going to tell you about where it's sort of been limited because of the weather. A lot of folks haven't gotten out. I've only been out a time or two. It's been short periods of time. And I'm going to go ahead and show you, though. Let's go ahead and take a look at St. Joe Bay and basically the layout. And I'm going to show you some places you can go, all right? From my experience a lot, okay? We always use Black's Island as sort of a landmark on where to go. And I'm going to zoom on in so you can see Black's Island is right here, okay? Now, what I like to do each year, and just out of habit, and there's no scientific reason why I do it, but I always start on what I call the southern end down here. I start here, and I just zigzag back through here, and I'll work my way up toward Black's Island. And over the years past, I found them here. I've just found them all different places, okay? Black's Island, to me, is ground zero. Not necessarily that they will be there, but you get everything away from Black's Island. Now, this year, it looks like my last trip last year right off Conch Island, and we did real well. See where Conch Island is? This is where you can drive in. I was showing y'all a place you can drive. You can drive here and walk out right here on 30A. There's a little slough here, a little ditch. Park beside the road. Be careful and you can walk out here and walk toward the Black Island. A lot of people are walking. If you want to put your kayak in, you need to come down here to what we call the stump hole, okay? I'm going to zoom in on it so you know exactly what you're talking about. And right up here where the lighthouse point, come around the curve right here. See this curve right here? Come around this curve and launch right in here and just paddle up through here, okay? And now remember, there's some deep channels in there. But let's go back to the main area, and I'm going to spend some time on this because so many of y'all are scalloping this weekend and the rest of the month. So I would go around Black's Island and make sure you have some, if you're going to walk, make sure you have some good shoes. But I think most of this scallop's going to be right in here for right now. That's where I'm going to be going this weekend, I know. So that tells you where to go. Also, right here on this side of Black's Island, right in here, can y'all see that spot right in there? Okay, so that pretty well, let's see. Okay, all right, so okay, I don't want to spend all the time on scalloping, but that's, go in and put in at St. Joe, at the city there, the city marina. You can put in at Presnell's Marina, and you go back around to the state park. There's 3 main spots to put in, and I put in all 3 places. A lot of times it's according to what the weather's doing and all. Now let's quickly, I don't have time to go to quickly places, but let's go ahead and talk about what's going on in the St. Andrew Bay system. Floundering has been really good, even on these rainy nights. Water's been a little bit muddy, but some guys have gotten out, especially the early part of the week before the storm came in. So this weekend might be a good time. So floundering's good. Red fishing has been excellent in all the bay system. The Carabel, they catch them at the mouth of the Carabel River. They catch in tarpon right there from the old retirement center down there on the eastern end of St. George Island. And then coming back in also the situation over there in St. Joe Bay. You want to fish in the late afternoon. If you get a chance to fish in the late afternoon and make sure that the scallopers are usually out of there. And then over in Choctawhatchee Bay, the black drum again continues to be hot in Choctawhatchee Bay. So that takes care of a lot of it. Check the website. There'll be a lot more details on that. And again, thank you all for being with us this week, and thank all the special guests we have this week. And you have a great weekend, and be sure to do something good for some other folks, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.